The modern world is amazing in many ways, but it's also powerfully and tragically prepared to result in a high background level of anxiety and general low level depression. There are six special features of modernity that have some psychologically disturbing consequences. Each one has a possible solution, which we will only completely put into action when we know more about the disease in question. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into this video. Meritocracy. The societies tell us that everyone is going to make it if they have the skill and energy. The bad side of this liberating and beautiful idea is that any perceived lack of success is not taken as an accident or misfortune, but a clear sign of a lack of talent or laziness. If those at the top deserve all their success, then those at the bottom must definitely deserve all their failure. A society that thinks of itself as meritocratic turns poverty from an issue to a proof of damnation, and those who have failed from unfortunates to simple losers. The solution of this thing is a strong and culturally endorsed belief in two big ideas. The first one is luck, which claims that success doesn't only rely on talent and effort. And the second thing is tragedy, which claims that good and decent people can fail and deserve forgiveness instead of hatred. Individualism. An individualistic society addresses that the individual and their accomplishments are everything. Also, everyone is capable of an extraordinary fortune. It is not the community that matters. The group is for no hopers. To be ordinary is considered a curse. The result is that the thing that most of us end up being is associated with strange failure. The solution of this thing is a cult of good ordinary life and proper appreciation of the pleasures and peaceful valor of each day. Secularism. Secular societies cease to believe in anything that is larger than or beyond themselves. Religions used to perform the valuable service of keeping our small ways and status battles in perspective, but now there is nothing to awe or relativize humans whose victories and mishaps end up feeling like the be-all and end-all. The solution to this would include regularly using sources of transcendence to produce a benign, relativizing opinion on our personal sorrows. Music, the stars at night, the massive spaces of the desert or the ocean would humble us in all calming ways. Romanticism. The philosophy of romanticism tells us that each of us has one very special person out there who can make us totally happy. However, we mostly have to settle for moderately bearable connections with someone who is very nice in a few ways and pretty tough in many others. It feels like a disaster in comparison with your actual big hopes. The solution to this thing is to realize that we didn't go wrong. We are just motivated to believe in a very improbable dream. Instead, we should build up our ambitions around friendship and love. If you're liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Now let's continue. Media. The media has huge importance and a massive place in our lives, but routinely directs our interest to things that scare, worry, panic, and enrage us, while denying us agency or any opportunity for effective personal action. It generally attends to the least admirable sides of human nature, without a balancing exposure to normal good intentions, responsibility, and decency. At its worst, it also edges us towards mob justice. The solution to this thing would be news that focused on presenting solutions rather than creating outrage. That was alive to systemic issues rather than gleefully giving emphasis to scapegoats and emblematic monsters, and that would regularly remind us that the news we most require to focus on comes from our own lives and direct experiences. Perfectibility. Modern societies often worry that it is within our remit to be profoundly content, sane, and accomplished. As a result, we end up hating ourselves, feeling weak, and feeling that we've wasted our lives. A solution to this problem would be a culture that endlessly emphasizes on the idea that perfection is not within our limit, that being mentally slightly unwell is a sure part of the human condition, and that we need above all our good friends with whom we can sit and honestly talk about our real concerns and exposures. The forces of psychological distress in our world are currently much richer and more active than the necessary cures. We deserve tender pity for the price we have to pay for being born in recent times, but more hopefully, solutions are now open to us individually and collectively if only we recognize with sufficient clarity the sources of our true anxieties and sorrows. The vast amount of research dealing with the effects of technology centers around mental health issues. While most studies show a correlation between technology use and mental health, more studies are demonstrating a causal link between some technology use, especially social media use, and mental health consequences. However, you should resist the addictive nature and effective design of digital media by sharing information and committing to digital wellness. You should also try to disconnect and engage in screen-free activities. With that being said, it's time to end our today's video. Press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stuff. Peace out!